we begin, may It is now 11:11 a.m. We are here in the Rota Mayor's Conference Hall, and I now call this public hearing to order. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce the staff assisting the delegation today. We have our IT, Jonathan Diaz. We have our legal counsel, Joe Bermudez. Our legislative assistant, Devin Macaranas. Our delegation journal clerk, Dee Hokuk. Our delegation clerk, Francis Joan Kaipat, and our sergeant at arms, Jonathan De Leon Guerrero. And with that, at this time, I recognize the clerk to take roll.
Senator Ronnie M. Calvo,
Present.
Senator Donald M. Manglona,
Present.
Senator Paul A. Manglona, Representative Julie Marie A. Ogle.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, 3 members are present and 1 member is absent.
Thank you, Devin. With 3 members present, we have the quorum to proceed with today's public hearing. And with that, we move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the adoption of today's agenda. At this time, I recognize any member. Recognize the Vice Chair. What's that? The Vice Chair has made a motion to adopt today's agenda. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objection to the agenda? There being none, the agenda is hereby adopted. We now move down to the public comment or public hearing, and at this time I recognize the Mayor, Honorable Aubrey Hoku.
Half a day and good morning. For the record, my name is Aubrey Hoku, Mayor for the Municipality of Rota, and I am deeply honored to be here for all my appointees for the Rota Municipal Scholarship, Mr. Tito Songal Hokuk, Mrs. Rika Lid, Barcinas Mendiola, and Mr. Hora Paeda. I'll begin just to speak briefly about each individual and expressing my support for all of them. Mr. Titu Songa Hokuk currently is a police officer, a role that demands integrity, discipline, and a deep sense of public service. Beyond his official duties, he has been heavily involved in creating and executing youth programs under the police department. These programs have provided guidance, structure, and positive opportunities for our young people, helping them stay focused on education, personal growth, and responsible citizenship. His work shows that he understands the challenges our youth face and is committed to helping them succeed. What truly sets Tito apart is his ability to connect with people. He is well known for his friendly attitude and his natural ability to make people feel comfortable, often using humor to break down barriers and build trust. He is a great role model, not only for his own children, but for our youth throughout the community, consistently demonstrating positive values, respect, and responsibility through his actions. This approachability allows him to engage effectively with students, parents, educators, and fellow board members alike, while still maintaining professionalism and focus. Tito is someone you can trust, and he has consistently demonstrated integrity in his work and in his relationships within the community. He is a true team player who follows through on his responsibilities and ensures that tasks are completed to meet the mission placed before him. These qualities are essential for a member of the scholarship board, where fair judgment, collaboration, and accountability directly impact the future of our students. For Mrs. Rika Lynn Barcinas Mendiola, who serves currently as the clinical coordinator of the Rota Health Center under the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. She has faithfully served our community at the health center since 2008 in various capacities, demonstrating long-term commitment, growth, and a deep understanding of public service. Throughout the years, she has earned the trust and respect of her colleagues and the community she serves. I have personally witnessed Rika in action while she served in her current capacity and as acting director for the hospital, and I was truly in awe of her leadership. She has a remarkable ability to identify issues, assess challenges, and most importantly, offer practical and effective solutions to address them. She is organized, dependable, and a strong advocate for causes she's passionate about, qualities that are essential for responsible decision-making on the scholarship board. Rika also understands firsthand the value of education and perseverance. She has made significant personal sacrifices to earn her Bachelor of Science degree in Health Administration from the University of Phoenix. This journey has given her a deep appreciation for the challenges faced by students pursuing higher education, and it strengthens her ability to empathize with and support scholarship applicants. One of the qualities I admire most about Rika is the strong familial support system that grounds her and allows her to do the important work she does every day. From her parents to her in-laws, her siblings, her husband, and her children, her family serves as her motivation and foundation. This support fuels her commitment to caring for the people who walk through the doors of the hospital and reinforces her dedication to serving our community with compassion and purpose. For Ms. Johora Paeta, who currently serves as our school counselor at the San Paulo Elementary School, a role she has held since 2025. Prior to returning home, she worked as a school counselor in the mainland beginning in 2016, gaining valuable experience supporting students from diverse backgrounds. Her professional journey reflects a deep dedication to student development, academic guidance, and personal growth. Johora is highly accomplished academically. She has earned her Master's of Arts in Counseling in 2015 from the Northern Kentucky University and completed her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology in 2012 from the same institution, graduating with magna cum laude honors. Her academic achievements combined with her professional training provide her with the knowledge and insight needed to thoughtfully evaluate and advocate for our students pursuing higher education. On a personal note, Johora was one of my former students, and she truly embodied the very qualities of a student. She was dedicated, hardworking, and always willing to help others. She consistently demonstrated teamwork, responsibility, and compassion. It brings me with great pride to see her return to our island to serve our students and give back to the community that helped shape her. Johora comes from a family of strong role models. Her parents worked diligently in the health and agricultural industries to support their family, instilling in her the values of hard work, perseverance, and service. Here in Rota, she has committed to working with her colleagues and has accepted many responsibilities outside her noted duties as a counselor. This is a strong indication of her desire to see her students thrive and her school flourish. These values continue to guide her as an educator and advocate for our youth. And with that, I humbly ask for the support of our chairman and our Rota delegation to please confirm these three great candidates for the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board so that they may begin to serve our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hoku. At this time, I invite any of the council members to provide their statement.
Good morning, Chairman Mangloni and members of the Rota delegation. For the record, I am Sandra M. Mosga, Vice Chairwoman for the 20th Rota Municipal Council. We are here to express and submit our written individual testimonies of strong support for the appointment of Mr. Tito S. Hokuk II, Mrs. Rika Lynn B. Manglonia, and Ms. Johora A. Paeta as members appointed by the Mayor for the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board Foundation Board. Each of these individuals is widely respected for their integrity, sound judgment, and commitment to serving the people of Rota. They bring diverse perspectives, a strong sense of responsibility, and a shared dedication to fairness and accountability, qualities that are essential to carry out the duties of a scholarship board. Their collective character, professionalism, and concern for the educational success for Rota students will greatly contribute to the thoughtful decision-making. We are confident they will serve with diligence, transparency, and the best interests of our community at heart. On behalf of Chairman Jonathan Lizama, Secretary Tilly Tamino, and myself, we respectfully encourage the members of the Rota delegation to unanimously confirm Mr. Hawcook, Mrs. Mendiola, and Mrs. Pereira at your earliest convenience. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Acting Chair and Secretary, for your comments today. Is there anything else you'd like to add? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we now open the floor to any current or former members of the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board for their comments.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning. For the record, my name is Valerie Kate Kiraguapatang, a resident of Sinapalo 3, Rota. I currently work under the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs under the Office on Aging as the Program Coordinator and currently serve as the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation Board Member. We are here to express our strong support for the nominations of Tito S. Hokuk II, Ricalyn B. Mendiola, and Johora A. Paeda to serve on the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board. Each of these individuals bring valuable experience, integrity, and demonstrated commitment to the educational advancement of our community. Collectively, they represent a balanced combination of leadership, professionalism, and dedication to the youth of Rota. Mr. Hokuk has consistently shown a deep commitment to education and community service. His experience and thoughtful approach to decision-making would be an asset in ensuring scholarship opportunities are administered fairly and responsibly. Ms. Mendiola is well respected for her strong ethical standards and dedication to public service. Her background and attention to detail would contribute greatly to maintaining transparency and accountability within the scholarship board. Ms. Paeda brings valuable insight, sound judgment, and a genuine passion for helping students succeed. Her involvement will help strengthen the board's mission to support deserving students in achieving their academic goals. Together, these nominees possess the qualifications and character necessary to uphold the responsibility of the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation Board. I am confident they will serve with fairness, diligence, and a sincere commitment to the best interests of our students and our community. I respectfully urge your favorable consideration of their nominations. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Aftang and Board Member Merritt. At this time, we now open the floor to any members from the general public to provide their statements.
Good morning. My name is Rosita Hokuk, a resident of Rota. Personally, I was invited by my nephew, Tito S. Hokuk II, but I'm not here only for him. I'm here for all three of you, Mrs. Ricalyn Mendiola and Ms. Johora Pereira. I believe that the choice of the mayor is very much adequate. She knows what she's looking for, and that I find the three candidates very qualified, and that they can collaborate and articulate as to what rules and regulation can be reviewed and changed. It is not set in stone. What I will recommend for the three of them, very knowledgeable and very educated and all around in their respective experience in the community, as well as their professionalism, that they look into the qualifications of the municipal scholarship. As we know, we are in a situation where our economy does not provide the necessary funding. So perhaps if my recommendation will merit their discussion on setting priorities as to what the workforce in our island need in terms of education. We cannot continue building our workforce with the same kind of background. We need to diversify. And I guess if we prioritize our funding, we can enhance the need of our island and even the Commonwealth. So I give my salute to the three, and I know they will work hard and improve our system. Sidus Masi, and good luck. I know that you're gonna get confirmed.
Thank you, Ms. Hochberg.
Thank you.
Floor is still open.
For the record, my name is Ivan T. Merritt Jr. I'm a voter, registered, and living in the San Paulo 2, Dooley Street. Mr. Chairman, members of the Rota Legislative Delegation, I want to first say I'm in support of Mayor Aubrey M. Hocook's nominees for the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board. As Chairwoman Apateng mentioned, there are members that are exiting. I'm one of two. And again, I would like to extend to both Senator Paul and Senator Donald being the last members that placed us in the last time. Thank you guys for your trust and confidence for us to serve. And as well as our former appointees, both the late Mayor Efren M. Atlick and Mayor Aubrey Hocook for continuing us. The reason why I support these three, Mr. Chairman, is that among us four sitting on the table, I have known all three of them throughout my years at high school, whether I was going as a student or I volunteered as an instructor at the local JROTC. As a student, I'm proud to say that everywhere I went, I carry a book to remind me that the first time I voted at Rota High School was for my first youth Congress senator, that's Senator Tito Hocook. Tito Hocook was my first youth Congress senator that I supported then, and I still support now, because I believe in his ability to not only reach out to those who have a voice, but those who don't have a voice. The other two ladies you see up here, I worked with Rika under Mayor Efren Atlick as the COVID point of contact coordinator for Rota Mayor's office, while Rika was the island's representative for the state. During that time, I have seen Rika work in the toughest times and the most trying times. I have never seen her perform on professionalism, or I have never seen her walk out of a plan. She was always the kind of person that follows through. And then I have Ms. Johora. When I volunteered at the Rota High School, I volunteered with Sergeant Major Herman Atlick for a period of 1 year, and I was never given an LNO. That's the liaison staff. A cadet works for an instructor, but I do know Sergeant Major's, one of his favorite LNOs was Ms. Johora Payeta. This individual was very fast to get what Sergeant Major wanted at the time frame, or as Sergeant Major put it, the movement and tempo that I rely on. And this is what Ms. Johora was well known to. My path crossed all three of these paths, and I support these guys because I believe that with the work of Chairwoman Apateng and Vice Chairwoman Tonica, and I thank the mayor for appointing these two, because we went from a scholarship grant that only offers grant to limited services or limited degree, now recognizing both undergraduates and graduates program. That means our students from Rota have the opportunity to not only excel in their associate's degree level, but higher, their bachelor's, their master's, their doctorates. Everything's in place. I do want to say, for historical purpose, I want to thank the due diligence of the members of the Rota Legislative Delegation who took the lead, and Senator Donald, thank you for opening up the Scholarship Reserve Fund. That fund has been sitting there for a while. A lot of people thought that we didn't have money, but if they look at the law, a fund was put aside. That means during the time when we had a lot of money, somebody thought of putting money aside for the rainy days. And I thank the board members before me who met with our delegation members to make that happen. Because when I came in, it was easier for us to say money wasn't the issue, it's how do we open the program. Now that me and my good colleague, former Chair George Hocook, are now exiting, the next question is, what more services can these new board members, Ms. Chairwoman Apateng, Vice Chair Brasinas, is going to produce for the upcoming kids? That's the next question. I understand a lot of people says our economy is bad, but I have never met young Galita, young Rotanese that never took a challenge without saying, let's take a try. These three individuals here, all of them walk different paths, but I know all of them have one in common, and that's the compassion for those who have a voice and those who don't have a voice. Again, for the record, my name is Ivan T. Merritt Jr. I am a voter registered, and again, I stand in full support of Mayor Aubrey M. Hookook's appointees for the Rota Municipal Scholarship Board. Sizos Masit.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you for your contributions and service to the board as well.
And I just want to say, I just want to let you know, a lot of people said they don't remember Youth Senator Tito Hocook. I just want to say I have the yearbook right here. The yearbook right here to prove it that Senator Hocook was there, our youth senator, and he's here. And again, I want to be there to let you know that if you ever wanted to see photos of the COVID, just head on to the hospital. Photos of Ms. Rika is down there posted, even on their website. And the JROTC photos of Ms. Payette is still there to this day. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Floor is still open. All right, if there's no one else from the public who wishes to make comments on today's nominees, this time we will close the comment portion of the agenda, and we'll move on with the next item, which is basically the hearing of the three nominees pursuant to the Mayor's Communication 2405, for the appointment of Mr. Titu S. Hocook II and Ms. Ricolin B. Mendiola, and Mayor's Communication 2406, the appointment of Ms. Johora Atalik. At this time, we will open the floor to any of the nominees who wishes to make any opening statement. Sorry, can we just remove one chair so that they can center themselves? And then, floor is open to anyone who wants to go first.
Good morning, distinguished members of the board, leaders, guests, and especially Honorable Mayor Aubrey M. Hocook. I am deeply honored and grateful for the trust you have placed in me by selecting me to serve as a board member of the Scholarship Foundation. I accept the responsibility with humility and a strong sense of purpose. Education has the power to transform lives, families, and communities. This foundation's commitment to expanding access to education aligns closely with my personal values and professional experiences. Throughout my journey, I have seen firsthand how opportunity, when paired with guidance and support, can unlock potential and change futures. As a board member, if selected, I am committed to serving with integrity, collaboration, and accountability. I look forward to working alongside each of you to strengthen our mission, broaden our reach, and ensure that our resources continue to empower deserving students. I am especially eager to contribute my skills in leadership, finance, education, and community engagement to help advance the Foundation's goals. Thank you once again for this honor and for the vital work that you do, and I am proud to join you in investing in the leaders of tomorrow.
Hey, good morning, members, Chairman, Vice, Representative Julie. First off, we just want to say thank you, Mayor Aubrey, for your trust in us to serve as board members. Although it kind of looks kind of off, if you guys see the room, I'm the only guy. But it's okay, it's something we can get over, right? I just like to call it 1 versus 100. But without that, with that said, we will continue though, you know, just as Rika has mentioned in her speech. I didn't know she prepared a speech. We will continue to work hard, right, with the mission and focus of providing for our students or anybody who's, you know, willing to continue their education, right, with the word fairness, right, because without fairness, you know, everything looks a little off the books. But yes, I would like to thank again the mayor, and yes, we will do our job. We need to start sitting down and start tackling away, because I've heard there is a pile of applications to look through. So again, thank you, members. Thank you, everyone who came out for your support, and let's get to work, if confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you guys for the nomination. Thank you, Mayor Aubrey, for also nominating me. It's no news. I returned back last year, and so I'm very excited to help and give back to the community. My lifelong goal is, as an educator, is to ensure that all kids reach their academic goals. I mean, as a school counselor, that's all we do is pursue the kids to like move forward, and whether it's in the workforce or go to college, whatever it is, that is a constant thing that I'm teaching, even at the elementary level. So I'm excited to be part of this committee, of course, if confirmed, but I look forward to seeing all the graduates succeed and benefit from the scholarship as well. So thank you guys again.
Thank you to all nominees. At this time, I'll open the floor to the members if they have any questions. And I believe I'll go ahead and recognize Rep. Julie to open up the questioning.
Sure. Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I would like to extend our, appreciation to the previous board members, George Holcook and Ivan Merritt. Your service has greatly contributed to the youth's success at most for, their financial education. And it's nice to see young, fresh faces into the board, and I believe that the mayor has successfully selected I believe the right people to this board. It's very critical that, like Tito Oko said, that everything has to be, reviewed and processed and implemented in fairness. And the only question is asked to all of you, which is the same question, is you all have, different background as far as career. We have someone from law enforcement, healthcare, and the school. In your position, what can you contribute into the municipal scholarship?
Thank you, Congresswoman Julie. With your question, I guess the quickest answer is from my line of work, my experience. It's, like I said again, total fairness, right? Due diligence, making sure that there's a strict or a baseline, model of things where you look at, the application. You look at if the applicants are actually going to school. I kind of say, I like to say I'm a little strict with the experience I have from work. I got to make sure everything is, in line, copacetic before everything moves, right? Because with law enforcement, it's very delicate, right? It's very delicate work. You need to make sure you mark your boxes right and you check it out and make sure everything's square. So I would bring, due diligence, fine nitpicking is what I think I would bring to the table.
Equality and fairness, and also just making sure that we all look at applicants. It doesn't matter, like coming from the healthcare field, I know there are a lot of children that want to go and pursue higher education in the medical field, also others, but fairness across would be
like you said, we all have different backgrounds, so I think just really putting it out there, putting it on the plate and assessing the situation, and again, looking at the scholarships and with all different lenses, from the public safety and the healthcare and the education lens. So just considering all those things and making sure that we make the best decision.
Thank you. I have one more question. What message would you want scholarship recipients to understand about responsibility, service, and giving back to the community? And, yeah, anybody can answer.
Well, I guess with scholarship recipients, right, the only message we can is come back home, right? Come back home and let's serve our community, right? Because we help you, So come back and help other people like you, so that we can continue to grow and become a better community and be more of better service to our people. That's one message I would give. Oh, okay. I guess we're all giving the same message. Come back home.
Zahora, I know you mentioned that you just moved back to the islands a year ago. What message do you want to relay to our students?
Essentially, it's kind of the same thing that Mr. Tito said. I've been at the States for over 15 years, and so I just felt a true calling to come back to the community and just, appreciate everything that our community has to offer and to give back to the community. So something that I, would like our students to know is that, that is an opportunity for everybody and to take advantage of it. And just because we are from a small community doesn't mean that you can't, go to college or move overseas. You could do so many things. So the main message is to try. Just go ahead and apply, push yourself out there, gain the knowledge that you need to then come back and return it to the community.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for those answers. I think I'm pretty much done. I heard everything I wanted to hear. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Ogle. At this time, I recognize Vice Chair Senator Calvo.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Ms. Julie. I know she had a question out there. I would like to thank our Honorable Mayor, Aubrey, for the selection of the 3 nominees, and I commend you 3 for your acceptance for the scholarship, Rota Municipality Scholarship Foundation Board. In addition, thank the exiting members, Mr. George Hokog and Mr. Ivan Merritt. The testimonies that were given earlier, very commendable and truthful testimonies by Rose. We have Mayor Aubrey, Board Member Ms. Valerie Apatang. The testimonies really speak truth to the type of professionalism you 3 have endured throughout your entire career. I do know you on a personal level. I've seen you grow and succeed in your endeavors. I thank Johora for returning. That's a return on investment for this program that is intended. Those people that have been there have walked through, through the process of accepting our local scholarship and succeeding, and then returning back is really commendable. I think, like we said, Ms. Julie and Mr. Donald mentioned, we have Department of Public Safety. You have your policies and procedures in place, for so many years, what works, what doesn't work. We have wonderful Ms. Rika, Mendiola, who has been in the health care system and diversifies herself. I've seen my family, thank goodness I'm, praying no sickness, but, really all of you, and then for Johor to come back and knowing that Ms. Mayer shared, because I didn't really know the background that 2016, counselors are very powerful people, influential to the community. And, it's just the current challenges we face. Everybody understands and knows that funding is one of the key elements in granting scholarships. I do have children that have gone through that process, and every year the reduction of funding is initially the challenge, and where we're going to continue to have that appropriation. So we are still in the fight for, and the mayor and her team and everybody for a municipality. We want to improve that workforce, and this is the ticket, helping support them with the financial means necessary to have the skill set. I always, not to chase them away, I'm always like, go abroad, get your skill sets, but in due time, come and invest. And I like the way Miss Julie mentioned, what is a message for, kids to adults. It's not just, young teens or out of high school. So how would you measure success of the scholarship program? That's just a reflection of where are we at and where do we need to go, for improving the reform or the necessary things that are needed, because over time things change and we are in challenging times. I know I talked to Miss Diana Hokog, who's from the scholarship NMC and our local municipality, and we have the same alignments. We're on the same page as how do we keep them funded and how do we ensure that they succeed and then they get their degrees and then sooner or later will come back. So just a quick comment, how would you measure, if accepted and nominated, like Auntie Rose mentioned, I know they're gonna, that belief system that they're gonna pull through, because you guys are a dynamic three, and I commend you. And looking at I didn't need to see the resume, I see it right up front, but what's your take on the success of our Rota scholarship to this day? What is the message you would like to say? How would you measure success of our scholarship program for Rota? So just if I can, similar to, how would you measure our scholarship success? What would you like to see or envision?
Thank you, Senator Ron. Just like we said earlier, right? Just like Miss Johora had mentioned, right? Her experience, her coming back, the return on investment. That's how I would measure the productivity and the success of the scholarship, is people coming back to Rota, right? Some of us never left, right? We're still here, but still we came back with something, not leaving yet, but we're here. But yes, it's to come back. Success, return back, serve your community, serve your people. That is how success is measured, by what you can bring back to our people.
Thank you, Mr. Tito, for your.
For me, I'd also like to mention that I was a Rota Municipal Scholarship recipient at one point, and what I see as success for the program is that it not only helped me as a student obtain my degree, but it also helped alleviate all the expenses of education. It really is expensive, especially if you're looking into healthcare. Like obtaining a degree in healthcare, it's really expensive. So at least, our children are able to get a little bit money, not a lot, but at least a little to help with that expenses, to whether it be relocating out of Rota to get higher education or just staying here and going online. Both ways, education's expensive, so at least it'll help the children that way.
Thank you, Ms. Rika.
For me, I would look at, kind of like in high school, we look at graduation rates. And so, in this perspective, we could look at, how many of our scholarship awardees received, completed their degree. You don't have to travel abroad to get your degree. You could also take online classes. So those who completed their degree, that's success to me. But also looking at the them actually in the workforce as well. So just the employment rates as well with those who received funding, and what were they able to do, because it might not be a bachelor's degree, it might just be a certification or whatever it is that they can obtain, that later down the line when those positions become available, they can obtain it because they already have the skill set and the education to obtain it. So kind of looking at both the graduation and the employment.
Thank you, Ms. Johora. And thank you, three, for your nominee and, your testimonies too as well, and your successes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Kavu. I would just like to start off by congratulating you three on your nomination to sit on the board, but also to basically thank you for your willingness to, again, take on a role that is unpaid, voluntary, and it may take a lot of your time, a lot of your personal time, but just being there for students, it really means a lot and goes to show the type of person you are. And with that, I just want to open up the floor to basically ask, from what you know of the board, what changes do you think you can offer, and how can we whether it be better the program or change the program to the current times we are in? What would be your suggestion?
Thank you, Chairman. Currently, we don't know what the board's facing, right? Financially, we don't know how much is in the bank, but I don't like going backwards. Let's go forward. So pretty much, Chairman, you will be hearing a lot of phone calls from us and the mayor, because we want to keep moving forward, and we don't want to shrink, all right, or downsize the municipality scholarship. We want to kind of at least now, bring it bigger from what we know, and then maybe even based on the rules, maybe see how we can change how we acquire funding or donations, so that way, some of us have friends and people outside that are an organization, a sanctioned organization that can probably help donate to help our people. Maybe a little, we'll work on the rules, or I guess the policies and procedures on how we can acquire, more funding outside the realm of just the pocketbook in the government.
It's the same for me. I don't really know what is the current laws or bylaws in the foundation right now, but yeah, basically to increase funding for all our children.
I think when I graduated high school here, when we applied for this municipal scholarship, there wasn't really, I guess, intention of, there wasn't really a set, I guess for me, from what I remember, it wasn't like you have to come back and return it within so many amount of years. And, people who leave, they maybe forget the contract that so kind of looking at that and making it work for our students, because moving back might not always be an option, or it all depends. And so really looking at what can we really consider, and just like Auntie Rosie had mentioned, is like investing in those who, on the workforce that's applicable here as well. So even like them, we're all new. Obviously, we don't know all the ins and outs of it, but, that's the first step, is that once nominated, we will, educate ourselves in all the things, and just really consider what things we can adjust and improve on.
Thank you for your responses. And just to give you a brief background information, like what Mr. Merib had mentioned, right now what funds the scholarship board is the poker license fees. We set aside 50% of any poker license fees that comes in for the scholarship. And I think the scholarship right now is fully funded for another, hopefully, 3 or 4 semesters. We do have funding that Rep. Julie is getting ready to appropriate, which would provide more funding. And so with that information, and based on your responses, and also the comment that we received from the public, I think one priority that should be looked at is the workforce diversification. And again, there are a lot of professions that we lack. I know the mayor has contracted engineering services, and I know that the legislature has also approved through the CNMI scholarship to provide additional scholarships for specific professions like behavioral specialists. And so hopefully maybe that's something that the board can look into in terms of what professions are really needed here, and offering more incentives for anyone pursuing a professional degree or certification in those areas. Another thing that I would like to point out is that, while the law did establish the board, you have the flexibility of amending regulations to fit the needs of our community, but also the vision of the board members. Right now, the board representative for the CNMI scholarship is Ms. Diana Hokuk, and if you get the opportunity to speak with her, maybe it's not such a bad idea to mirror some of our regs to the CNMI scholarship regs. Like Ms. Johora had mentioned, there's the option of having to come back if you're a recipient of the scholarship. But if you decide to stay out in the States or wherever it is you pursue your education, you would have to pay it back. So, we may not always have this funding. As you know, like I said, we get our money from pokers. As we've seen from our villages, the pokers are closing down. And so how do we plan for the future, right? The board does have the authority to issue out loans as well. And so if the scholarship is not enough, maybe students would like to loan against the scholarship and pay that back, and you guys can earn interest on that and kind of see the fund grow separate from any local monies that are appropriated. I also like to point out that when you do get the chance, it's on the, if you're not familiar, it's cnmilaw.org that has the scholarship law, and you can read up on what are some of what's expected of you, but also what are your limitations, and that way whatever regs or statutes that can't be amended through your actions, that you have the support of the delegation to make that happen. We've amended it several times to fit the needs of the board, and so we hope that you do get the opportunity to look through the regs or the statute and see what changes can be made. That way that's something that we can work on. What is your position on how these monies, because based on your responses, a lot of it sounds like it's geared towards the post-secondary education. What are your plans for or vision for assisting those that want to pursue the certification route, whether it be through NMCL or any other certification through the jobs like academy and stuff like that?
So yes, thank you again, Senator, for that question. So again, like we've all shared, it'll probably take us to sit on the table first, right? But again, like you just spoke about, or how we diversify the workforce, or how do we get the trades program start going in. I've heard that the scholarship has helped a bunch of our current government employees attain or go through a current trade school right now for their specific trade, right, for their department. So yes, I would like also, I would be very interested on, like you said, with the academy, but not necessarily academy itself, but how do I let officers in my department become a little bit more certified, more, up credentials, right? Like if I'm a firearms instructor, our department doesn't have enough money to send us to a firearms school. On the table, I would probably ask the board, right, is there a way where we can get, some money to shoulder some of the costs for that training, so that now we have in our department a certified firearms instructor or something similar too. But yes, I would love to support that, getting our traits back into the government.
I definitely agree with that as well. I also would like to consider just the different branches that we can, instead of just a generalized, fund, is there a way to kind of divide to specific, to trade specifically or to certain workforce specifically? So just kind of considering all that and just seeing how we could intentionally divide the funding to those who we could also benefit, those who just want to go overseas, but also those who want to stay in the community and just like you said, like it, in who is currently in the workforce and other, other avenues. So just kind of considering all of that. It's the same, like what they both said. I know we have employees here under, the government that do trades from experience, but what we want to see is education or at least a little certification background. So yeah, offering that to those individuals that are already in the workforce to help them obtain some kind of certification or more knowledge to what they're already doing.
Thank you all for your responses. And just to add on to that, Ms. Chanel Manglonia is the trustee for the Northern Marianas Technical Institute. And so maybe connect with her also to see what opportunities we can offer our students, whether it be the scholarship board help fund for these instructors to come down or for our students to be able to stay on stipend during the period that they'll be certified. I know that we've also gotten requests from entities like Customs, DFEMS, DPS for academy training, like what Mr. Hokuk had mentioned. But I guess this is where we also diversify our funding, right, to see what are the needs in the community and how we can also invest in our people through any certification. But please don't let your role as board members stop at reviewing these processes, these applications, these the funding, but also see what opportunities we can offer our people, even if it's just something that you feel is needed in our community that could benefit our people, like training on computer, right, or AI. How can AI benefit our role in the government? You can work with various departments to help make that happen. And so hopefully, if confirmed after 1 p.m. today, those are some of the things that could be addressed and looked into. But also, we look forward to working with you guys in trying to see how we can improve the program. But like I said, I think one of the biggest ask that I would like to make is to look at our programs, and in understanding that our resources are dwindling down, how can we I guess maybe change the normal processes, or whether we treat it as a loan program moving forward, with the understanding that they will come back and pay back through service. And also just the outreach. I don't think, gosh, this was back in 2006. I don't think I was a recipient of the scholarship. And maybe because I wasn't aware that the program exists, but an outreach to the high school could be done by the scholarship to get students registered. That way they know what resources are available for them after high school. Those are some of the recommendations I would like to offer. And if there's anything else that we can do to assist the board, please feel free to reach out. The last data that we receive for fall of 2025, which is usually the period around August to December, right? There were about 26 recipients. And then the semester before that, spring 2025, we had 13 recipients. And so there's a jump, right? Almost 100% or 100% of students availing of the program. And so do we want to see that number increase? And if so, how do we get that number to increase? But also, maybe if our funding is enough to secure us for the long term, maybe increasing those awards. And that's something that you guys have the authority to do so. And so with that, are there anything else from any of the members? Right, and with that said, at this time, I would like to offer the floor to any of the nominees if they'd like to make any closing statements.
I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for having us here, and for the to the mayor for the opportunity to serve our people. Mayor, thank you, and thank you to everyone.
I think that you guys have heard enough of, us and, all the, and I hope that that was enough to persuade you that we are ready to commit to serving our community and our students. But yes, ultimately, thank you all, and thank you, Mayor Aubrey, and also thank you to those who shared their speech. And, I didn't realize that was like, how we impacted them or how they perceived us. So it was really nice to hear that from the community as well. So I appreciate you guys all.
Yes, many thank you to everyone for giving up your times today. I know it's been a long morning, and you guys are going to have a long afternoon. So thank you for your time. And again, yes, thank you for everyone, family and friends that came out to support. And most especially, thank you, Mayor Aubrey, for the confidence you see in us.
Thank you again. As I stated earlier, prior to the start of the hearing, we do have a session at 1 p.m. You three are more than welcome to be present for that, but it's not required. We will act on the mayor's nomination. But also, again, just like the confirmation hearings we have in the Senate, if this is your first time, then, we give you leeway in terms of being able to get your feet wet and truly understanding what goes on within the board. If this was a renomination, then it's a different atmosphere. But with that said, again, the legislature or the CNMIlaw.org is a great resource for you guys to look into and get to know the statute better. And again, we look forward to hearing any recommendations from you guys, as well as any inputs you have in how we can extend the life of the program and also being able to flourish as well locally. With that said, the nominees are hereby dismissed, and we move on to the next item on the agenda, which is adjournment. And can I get a motion?
I move to adjourn for the call to chairman.
Second.
All right, there was a motion that was made and seconded. Any objection? There being none, this hearing is hereby adjourned at 12:08 p.m.